Hello and welcome to the Dragon Den. I'm King of Dragons 5000 and today I have another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Hiya Toys Burning Godzilla Battle version. Getting Godzilla out of the packaging, we're greeted with a very impressive Burning Godzilla. Despite being a sculpt we have seen several times at this point, they did a lot of things different with this version of Godzilla. Godzilla is going to come with 2 pairs of hands, as well as battle damage neck parts for the Gravity Beam's Ghidorah. Having a look at Burning Godzilla, it's the exact same sculpt that Hiya has used in the past. It's still such a great sculpt, and it looks even better with this new translucent plastic. As we take a look at the head sculpt, it's still a very accurate head sculpt to Godzilla as he appeared in King of the Monsters. Godzilla is cast in this really nice red-orange plastic, and it does look good, especially with the black paint going around his scales. The way the paint meshes with the plastic, it really does give the appearance that Godzilla is having some kind of meltdown. Godzilla is still going to have that very chunky neck, which looks really good, and the paint job brings out all those impressive details. The sculpt work on his torso is still very clean, and the added paint job with the red and the orange inside the scales looks really good. And the black paint on the high points of his scales does a really good job replicating that burning look that we saw in the movie. Toward Godzilla's back, you can see that Hiya Toys even included a brighter orange near his dorsal plates. His arms will continue that impressive paint job over the translucent plastic as we see the black parts of the paint look really good. And the details are only brought out even more with the red and orange through the crevices of Burning Godzilla. And I'm quite impressed that the paint job goes all the way down to his hands and his claws. As we move on to his legs, you can see that the black paint only highlights all those details that we see here on Godzilla's legs. And just like with the rest of his body, they did add some red and some orange in the crevices, just making it look even better. And his toe claws are going to be painted in that really nice dark paint, which has some of the orange poking through. The paint job on Godzilla's dorsal plates look amazing. As you can see, it goes from black at the tip of the dorsal plates all the way to that translucent plastic. They even included some orange in the center of his dorsal plates, which does look good. However, it would have been really nice to see some white on the center of his dorsal plates as well. But overall, it's a really sharp, crisp sculpt here on all of his dorsal plates as we get all that impressive detail. And the paint job is going to continue throughout the length of his tail, where once again we have that dark paint that highlights all those high points, making it look very impressive with the translucent plastic. And the sculpt on the dorsal plates is going to continue very nicely all the way to the tip of his tail. Even the underside of Godzilla's tail is going to have this really nice dark dry brushing, which highlights those high points, making him look like he's really burning. In terms of sculpt work, there's really nothing new here on this version of Godzilla, as this is pretty much the exact same sculpt that we've seen several times already. But the translucent plastic and the black paint look very impressive, especially when you have it under the right lights. So with his amazing paint and detail out of the way, let's compare Godzilla to our usual suspects. As you would expect, Burning Godzilla is not going to be in scale with 1/12 figures. However, he does look really nice when you compare him to other monsters from the Monsterverse. And you can see it looks so much different than that original Burning Godzilla that Hiya Toys gave us. Burning Godzilla is going to have a ball joint in the head and a ball joint in the neck. His jaw is on a hinge. Arms swing out to the side and do a full 360. He has a hinge and swivel at his elbow. A ball joint in the wrist. Burning Godzilla will have a double ball joint in his abdomen. His legs will kick forward, go back, out to the side slightly, and some slight rotation. He will have a limited double bend in the knee, a ball joint in the ankle, and finally he will have a multi-segmented tail with ball joints in every segment. Hiya Toys has always done a great job with the MonsterVerse Godzilla, and this version of Burning Godzilla is no different. It was a nice touch making him out of this translucent plastic and giving him this black paint, making it look like he's actually burning and replicating what we saw in the movie almost perfectly. The way the light catches this figure is quite impressive, and if you have special color lighting like I do, it makes the figure pop even better. Although we have gotten a Burning Godzilla in the past from Hiya Toys, and even though that was a really good figure, I think this version is much better and looks overall like an even better version of Burning Godzilla. What does make this Godzilla a little bit different from other releases is that he does have 2 pairs of hands, and they even included the battle damaged Ghidorah neck parts. I'm always blown away when Hiya Toys releases a new MonsterVerse character, as the amount of detail that goes into it is very impressive, and even though we've seen this Godzilla in the past, the fact that it looks this good is even better. The major drawback to this figure is that he was a Wonder Festival exclusive figure, which he was pretty hard to come by, but thankfully Hiya Toys did put him up on their site for pre-sale back in November. When he was available on pre-sale, he was about $50, and the biggest contention I had was the amount of shipping for this Godzilla, as it was about $30 to get this Godzilla shipped. That means he was an $80 figure when everything was said and done. However, I think that's a fair price to pay for this version of Godzilla, seeing as how secondhand market he is starting to hit prices in the $125 to the $150 price range. If you are fine with your original Burning Godzilla, it's perfectly fine that you passed on this figure. However, I really did want to have this version in my collection, and thankfully I was able to secure him off the Hiya website. MonsterVerse fans are going to love the way this Godzilla looks, and he is going to be quite the centerpiece in any King of the Monsters display. If you're a fan of Burning Godzilla, I highly recommend you track down this version of Godzilla, as I feel it's a more superior version. And before you go, I want to thank you for watching another video here on the Dragon Den. But before you go, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out all my other Hiya Toys and Godzilla reviews. If you're in a position to help out the Dragon Den, check out my Patreon, where I have some exclusive content and early access videos. And check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, videos, recent pickups, latest prints, and as always, ring that bell so you never miss another video. And until next time, my loyal Dragonites, coming from the Dragon Den, I'm King of Dragons 5000, reminding you to redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. I'll see you next time.